how we turned this into this. Over the past few weeks, I've actually run a real-world test with one of our YouTube members' listings in order to optimize both SEO and images. Today, I'm going to show you what that listing looked like before and after those optimizations. I'll also show you all the various options with this and the associated costs. If you do find this valuable, please drop a quick like on this video and let's dive straight in. This is what the listing looked like before, and this is kind of just an overall, but let's focus on the images, starting with the main image. Not that great. The product is quite flat in this image, and we even have that Fiverr overlay present. This tech spec, it's very basic. It can definitely be improved. With the lifestyles, the shadows are quite prominent here. And on this one, the product just feels really small and far away. I like this one more. The product doesn't feel as flat, although it's not pure white, as you can see. And this is definitely one of the better ones. Definitely shows the use case, and the last image is really a repeat. A lot we can do with the images. Let's look at the bullets. Now, the first thing that jumps out to me is consistency, and that's in terms of capitals. We can see these two headings are capitalized, but these two are not. Also, we're not even using the fifth bullet point here, and reusing the same keyword like this is actually foregoing an opportunity to use your next best keyword, and we'll get more into that when we look at what this service did. Lastly is consistency in length. Here we got a really long bullet point and then shorter ones. We want to try keep that a bit more uniform. Then let's look at the title. So I've simply blurred the brand name for privacy here. Personally, I feel there is much more characters we can use here because we've got up to about 200 characters. There's far more keywords we should be including here. And the product description. This is quite good. We've got good line breaks. It's not just one big chunk of text that's difficult to read, but that's really an overview of the listing before. And importantly, I wanted to look at two metrics, click-through rate and conversion rate, because this will actually allow us to assess with kind of numbers how well these changes perform. For example, click-through rate, that is going to tell us how often when people see this listing amongst other results, how often do they choose to click into it. And before the changes, you can see the click-through rate to this listing here. Of course, the higher that is, the better. And this is a very good indicator of the performance of your main image, because that's the primary aspect driving people to click through. And conversion rate. Once customers are on your listing, how often are they choosing to buy the product? This is a key performance indicator of your on-listing assets, such as your other gallery images and your bullet points. And so over here, you can see the conversion rate of this listing before the changes. And so we need to optimize this listing. And to do this, we used a service called AMZOneStep. And this is what their website looks like here. And what we did is we sent in this product for both SEO optimization, that's copy and keywords, but also listing image optimization. So you simply purchase the optimization bundle you desire, because you might not want to optimize the full listing, just certain aspects, and I'll showcase all those options in a second. And then if you require image optimization, then you also need to send them 1 unit of your product, and they are based in Canada. So let's look at the costs and options. This is their service package PDF, and one of the things I love is that whether you need a really small optimization or a much bigger one, they have all these different bundles. Now you can pick and choose between all different aspects, but one very good one here is the retail ready full optimization bundle. And while it's not cheap, $1,295, that does include all 7 of your images, a 1-minute video listing copywriting, which I'm going to showcase in a second, and A+ content. So this is like a one-stop shop option. And once you have chosen, they get to work actually analyzing your product listing, but also your market. And then they produce a competitor analysis. So here you can actually see your main competitors, their main images, titles, etc. But they're also going to create your keyword research, as you can see here. So we're going to have our back-end search terms done for us, the subject matter fields, and then all of our top keywords are listed here. The yellow ones, these are ones we're actually going to include in the title based on their analysis. The blue, bullet points. Green are product description, and pink are subject matter fields. So in this way, they actually structure your keyword list and how they're going to infuse keywords and do your SEO on your listing. They also create a pre-listing study, and this includes your competitor listings, like the common features targeted by competitors, good and bad reviews, what do customers say, again the same, those features and aspects that are important. Even looking at FAQ questions, and there's even a brand analytics field here, which is going to look at like your #1 clicked ASIN in your market for certain keywords. So a lot of data here. Finally, they're going to actually produce your product listing. And so this is your product listings copy, and you're going to have your title, bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and your description, all outlined here and also showing where keywords have been infused. If we focus on the title for a second, I do like how they've done this. Kitchen sink mat. That's our first keyword. Looking back at our keywords, you can see kitchen sink mat. So that makes sense because it's also a hinge of just sink mat. So we've got those two very high volume targeted keywords right at the beginning. And here, kitchen sink mats and protectors. That is our third keyword here, but it also includes kitchen sink mats. So in this way, they are adept at also keyword hinging for you. So in terms of after, we have looked at how they've structured the SEO and copy of this listing, but what about the images? Well, the original main image turned into this. I do like how they've structured it. We've got how the product would look flat at the top, but also the product in use at the bottom. Also giving a lot more color because we are including the fruits there. And this is something you probably see a lot in the kitchen niche doing well, is when you actually include ingredients in those images, and people tend to click those images far more. It also uses more of the image. In terms of the other gallery images, we have this one, main use case of the product, also a small diagram showing sizing here, which is very useful. We have this tech spec showing before, kind of the first use case when the product's flat, and after when folded into the second use case for holding ingredients. I also like the uniformity of text. It's not too imposing, it's very balanced. Like even where the arms are, it just feels like a good balanced image. And at the same time, it actually educates customers on how does that work? How does it fold up like that? They can start looking at the product and seeing how the components work. Then we have a lifestyle image, and this shows the third use case, which is protecting your countertop. Then we have another lifestyle. This one is in action, so the actual use case happening, and just giving more info on that drainage aspect. We also have this one going over the quality, what it's made of, and the other benefits of the material, like heat resistance, BPA free. I also like this one because it's a close-up, just gives a lot more dynamism to the images. They're not all just flat showing the full product. And lastly, there is one showing all use cases together. I think this is an important image as well, because what these images are really doing is capturing all customers. Whether you want it for use case 1 or 3, this product is suited to your needs. And here is an overall image of what the listing looked like once complete. And if we now compare that to what it looked like before, you can see that there is a major difference here. And the cool thing is they generally allow 2 revisions. Now, although we didn't have this done, I did want to give you a couple of examples of how they do EBC content or A+ content and video. So here's an example of their A+ content in the skincare niche, or this one in the beard grooming niche, or this one which is in the fitness niche, or this A+, which is in the kitchen niche. I think the quality of their A+ is fantastic. I also like how they are very good at kind of doing the split images, making images roll over from one another. Let's take a look at how they do video. I'll play a short snippet from each of these. The first one in apparel. Or this one in the paintball niche. Again, I think the quality is really high of these. Even for some of the more like boring products, they manage to make them very interesting little videos. So I've shown you how the listing turned out. And in terms of our click-through rate and conversion rate performance metrics, to see how much difference in performance, in sales performance, do these changes make, I don't have enough data yet because we literally just finished this test. So in the pinned comment right below, I will be posting the results very soon. Lastly, if you do wish to use the service, whether now or in the future, you can do so using the link in the pinned comment right below. Importantly, you can save 10% on your first project with them if you tell them that I sent you. So just say, hey, Dan sent me, and you should get 10% off your first project. Please comment below for me. Which part of your listing do you struggle with optimizing most? It might just inspire a future video. Please smash like if you did find this helpful, and a special thank you to the YouTube member for allowing me to showcase this here with everyone. Subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. That way you can be sure I will catch you in the next video.